Good Monday morning, folks. It has hit the fan. You waited your whole life to wonder when it is going to hit the fan. Took President Donald J. Trump to figure that day. I must have been in the wrong place, but it must have been the right time. It must have been the wrong time. Yeah. I was in the right trip. Woo. Good morning, good morning. Ooh. I was in the right place. Where are we at this morning, huh? Where are we at, America? What place are we at now? I was in the right place, but it must have been the wrong time. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. We have a lot to go over this morning. First of all, Rick, I apologize. I do not have the hat. You will understand that. I apologize. Walked out the door and forgot the hat. Tomorrow I will have the hat, and you will understand why Rick is so upset. So my apology right out of the box that the hat is not here on the table. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, let's start Monday out this way by letting you know you're more than welcome to always text the show. Send us a text message. Tell us what you think about some of the topics we're discussing. 706-889-9700. That is a live number 24/7. That's also our news hotline, 9700. Never forget it. 889-9700. Chief@fetchyournews.com. You can always send us an email. Follow us on Twitter @FetchYourNews, @FYNTV. Also, please go subscribe to our YouTube channel, FYNTV, Fetch Your News. And anytime we're doing a live broadcast or upload a video, you'll get a notification, and find us on Facebook. All right. I always, it's Monday morning, and yes, Andy McCabe is fired. Yes, just hours before he's fully vested with his pension. Let's not worry about Andy McCabe or start a fund, okay? I mean, the way that the liberals and the left side of the media talk this weekend is you're going to see jars on convenience stores, the counter, as you're paying for your 6-pack of beer or whatever you get in there, your Cheetos at the convenience store. It says, got a picture of Andy McCabe, poor former deputy FBI director, out of a job just hours before he was fully vested in his retirement, and trying to get you to give something towards him and his poor family. Really? Okay, we'll get into that a little later. Now, I want to get this out of the way. And I'll tell you why I want to get it out of the way, because it may just bore you. But for me, I spent a little too much time watching basketball, college basketball. March is my favorite. I used to like the Super Bowl, and then the NFL went, where. I love the World Series. I do. I like the World Series, the 7-game matchup, the challenge, the strategy. I like that. Okay? I mean, all the above. The NBA Finals, you can keep them, all right? I haven't been a real NBA Finals guy since Jordan, but the last time I really liked the NBA Finals is Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. But March Madness, I have always enjoyed March Madness. College basketball, I think, is the greatest tournament. And there's reasons why, okay? Let's forget about Andy McCabe for a minute. So, a week ago, did you know UMBC, is that University of Maryland, Baltimore campus or college, whatever? Did you know who they are? Did you know anything about them? And they took out Virginia, put up the South. I mean, I got one called the South, all right? Can you put that up? All right. This is my bracket. It's gone. I have one hope left. Look at that, all the way. I had Cincinnati going to the Final Four. I got Cincinnati going to the Final Four. Now, yesterday, okay, UMBC had a chance to beat Kansas State. They could have. They played them right to the end. But about 10 turnovers that they had, they did not capitalize on. So they kept stealing the ball, and Kansas State would turn it over, but they didn't capitalize, and they had like a 6-minute drought. So that ended their Cinderella season, but they took Virginia out, okay? Tennessee really let me down. Cincinnati played Nevada, okay? At number 7, number 7, Cincinnati. You have a 20-some point lead, like the second biggest blown lead in tournament history. So the South is gone for me. It's over. It's done. I blew that. Worst brackets I've had in 10 years. Now, let's go over to the East, okay? All right? I still got Villanova there and the West Virginia. I took West Virginia. That's good for me. If you can see that on the screen, I'm still good there, okay? I got Villanova going to the Final Four. I hit that one right to Villanova, Texas Tech. All right, that one is green for me. The only one I missed on that side was Marshall. I picked Wichita State over the 13, and that was the upset. But that's the only side that's 100%, well, not 100%, but it's close to green. I got the East pretty well. So I got the Villanova, okay, West Virginia, Texas Tech, Purdue. I got that one, okay? Now let's go down to the West. How's your bracket look? Quit bragging. I didn't care. I'll show my cards right here. Now you go to the West. Gonzaga, I had them. I got that. I got that. Michigan, all right, okay. I got that one. North Carolina, really? Really? Come on, man. That was a terrible showing yesterday. North Carolina, absolutely terrible showing. But I still have I have the Gonzaga, Michigan. I still got that over there, okay? Cincinnati. Oh, I still can't get over that one. Now go to the Midwest. All right? Now in the Midwest, all right, I've got Kansas, I've got Clemson, all right? I hit that. I got that. Kansas, Clemson, I got that, all right? Not bad games over there. Michigan State, all right? I've got that. I got that one, Michigan State, all right? Then I lose it. And then I have Duke over there, okay? Now, the Michigan, which one was that? Where did I get Michigan over here? Michigan, the game I really enjoyed was Michigan-Houston, okay? I had both of those in the green. Michigan, 3.6 seconds left. Up the court, tossed, 2 dribbles, over to the right, and this guy, the ball leaves the hand. I mean, that's why I watch the game. Ball leaves the hand, okay? Not even half a second before the buzzer, and it's in. So, as you can see there in the center, put the winner up, the one I have winner. I have Cincinnati playing Duke. At least you don't even have the nerve to tell me where your brackets stand. You don't have the nerve. Worst brackets I've had in 10 years. I have Duke playing Cincinnati. Obviously that's not happened. And I've got Duke winning it all. So that's my March Madness right now. Let's get out of that, all right? I wanted to go over that. I love the basketball. I love college basketball right to the end. And these guys at UMBC, I loved watching these guys play. What heart. And they played Kansas State right down to the end. Now, we got a couple things going on before we hit our first break. Yes, obviously, Andrew McCabe is fired, okay? And here's an interesting thing. Now, the media, on one side, we could spend 3-4 hours breaking down Brennan. Put up James Comey, okay? You got James Comey. I didn't send you a picture of James Comey, did I? I forgot. But you got Andrew McCabe, okay? He gets fired Friday. And, supposedly he kept notes. Comey kept notes. Okay? I mean, we have the actual text messages. We have the actual video. We have the tape of him lying under oath. We have everything that's accurate, but not one media source, and I don't want to say include Fox, but this past Sunday morning really gave the facts, the truth, okay, any airtime, but they're making a big deal that McCabe kept notes with his meetings with President Trump. Kept notes. McCabe said that Trump asked him how his wife felt losing an election. All right? Bottom line is, McCabe kept notes. All right? Comey kept notes. Where are the notes they kept in their Obama meetings? Where are the notes they kept on Hillary Clinton? Where are the other notes at any time, at any place? Where are those notes? So I'm just wondering, okay? McCabe found out 9 minutes before the media found out. You're fired. The establishment does not want Robert Mueller fired. Put up Robert Mueller's special counsel. Okay? We know Robert Mueller, okay, is outside of the scope of the Department of Justice, his authority. We know that. We know he's outside. He will not stop. He's determined to find crimes and go further and further to look for crimes that is he is out of his scope. Rod Rosenstein, what's it matter if you're ordering soup at the deli, right? The Deputy Director or Assistant Attorney General of the United States. Do you have Rosenstein's picture? I didn't send you one of his. He is within his full authority to come out and say that Mueller, special counsel Mueller, has abused and went outside of the scope the Department of Justice laid out. Period. This guy's supposed to look in to the Russian interference in the 2016 election. That's not what he's looking into. We have proof that the Russians did and will will continue to try to manipulate, affect elections all around the world. Putin's not a good guy. George W. Bush, whether you like him or not, was totally wrong when he said he looked into his soul. He looked in his eyes and he saw his soul. If George W. Bush would have actually been able to have seen inside of this man's soul, he would have known this guy's a murderer, he's corrupt, he's a dictator, he will have his opponents killed, all the above. But George W. kindly missed that one. Okay? It is totally out of his scope. It has been proven that Russia did attempt. It has been proven that Russia did not affect the outcome. In fact, even to the point that Hillary Clinton's going around the world and saying white women that had sons, husbands, and bosses that voted for Trump put them in so much fear they had to vote for Trump. So we know the investigation. They say, well, Papadopoulos did not, and several others did not testify before the House Intelligence Committee, before they put their findings out, their report. But the House Intelligence Committee has enough information. Adam Schiff, the candidate in Democrat minority ranking House member on the Intelligence Committee, has never seen a camera that he did not run in front of, and it's all political stunts and theater for him. But the House Intelligence Committee released a report saying they did not find where Russia had any bearing on the outcome of the election. Now, they're determined to not stop until they get Mark Zuckerberg with Facebook to go in there and, obviously a multi-billion-dollar election. That's right, probably went 1.5 billion or whatever. Okay, election. They're going to hinge on a couple $100,000 worth of Russian ads and continue to try to lead you to believe that Russian bots and so on and so forth. But, all right, he did fire, and the American people, this is my opinion before I go to break, and I got a couple announcements of some things we're going to do today. He did fire Jeff Sessions, and you have Sessions' picture, or maybe I didn't send one. I don't know. I had a lot going on this morning. Jeff Sessions, there's Sessions with Trump, and I always like to put the caption under this, President Donald Trump saying to Jeff, you better do your job. But Jeff Sessions fires, that's his job, McCabe, hours before he was set to retire. The media is real slow to report to you that the actual recommendation to release McCabe and fire him came from within. Okay? You will not hear on MSNBC too much about the Inspector General's report. You will not hear too much on CNN about the FBI internally making the recommendation to fire McCabe, okay? You will not hear any, you may today on a conservative talk show or a TV show have somebody take the chalkboard and break down to you how it works, that the FBI makes the recommendation and it's up to the Department of Justice, okay? There's the MSNBC, Minka, and those people don't even stop to think or will not. They know and will not report to you the protocol of who reports to who. They won't do that. All right? So very little will be spent on telling you that Andrew McCabe, put Andrew's picture up again, and then put Andrew and Jill's picture. Let's put that one. That the FBI told Jeff Sessions, made the recommendation that he be fired. Now, he lied. Okay? So just take a minute before we go to our first break. We'll get further into this. But just take a minute and think. Okay? Scooter Libby. It's very serious. I find it interesting, okay? And obviously I'm not shocked that it's all one-sided, but I find it interesting of how serious a crime the establishment, the deep state, which I do believe in, how serious a crime is, the crime of lying to the FBI, okay? Look at what General Flynn is being indicted for, all right? Scooter Libby, go back even to Watergate, lying to the FBI, all right? FBI has the tape, then they get you in the room, and you have 4 words off from the tape, you lied to the FBI. You can go to prison there has been people go to prison for lesser things, but lying to the FBI can land you in prison. But let an FBI agent or the top level, okay, lie under oath, and it's absolutely terrible. I heard one news outlet say this morning, after, I think, is it 20 years? He's been with the FBI for 20 years. I don't think it's 30. He's 50 years old, okay? So I think he's been, yeah, it's sad, right? He's only 50. And he's got the book deal. And Comey has a book coming out. My God, what in the hell has happened to us? So this guy here, I heard a news reporter this morning say, just hours after 20 years of service to his country. No. We have pictures of men and women that have served their country around the world, that you do not put this man and what he has done. America has been waiting for somebody to get fired. No matter what the media thinks, America's wondering, out there, when do we fire the head of the IRS? When do we fire the head of the Veterans Administration? When do we fire some of these people? Peter Strzok is still down in the mailroom or something, the guy with all the text messages with Lisa Page. It's time somebody get fired. Andrew McCabe deserved to be fired. President Trump went on a Twitter storm. Okay, we're going to talk about that. Just keep in mind, the deep state, the establishment does not want Mueller fired. I called for Mueller, the special counsel, to be fired immediately months ago. I still agree that Rod Rosenstein, remember when Rod went to when he was before the Senate committee, and he said that he would have to find good reason, I forget how he put it, to dismiss Mueller. Well, I think there's enough. There's a story out yesterday that I read. I can't remember if it's in Politico or where it's at, but that the Department of Justice, that Mueller has gone way out of the scope. All right. Now let me tell you what we got coming up this morning. We're gonna go a little bit local, so don't leave me. All right. Don't leave me here. We're gonna go a little bit local. The sheriff. Do you have his picture, Jeff Johnson? Put him up. The sheriff in Dawson County. I want to get the word out here. Okay. He has attacked us, Fetch Your News, okay? We are consider the source, all right? Growing up, my dad always taught me, consider the source. So he has attacked our reporter, Bill Johnson. He's attacked Fetch Your News. Now, I'm going to say this. I have a great relationship, and our company has a great relationship with law enforcement, and we support law enforcement. But every once in a while, sometimes people get the case of sour grapes. And I think Sheriff Johnson has just got a case of the sour grapes right now. He is the Dawson County Sheriff. And we are the source. And his dad told him, consider the source, okay? And he said, recently published articles, all right? And then he went on to say, the online Fetch Your News published an article implying that the additional funds could have been used to fund a CAD system. Now, our writer, he takes us on. And here's what he's upset about, is he sued the Dawson County Commissioners, okay? He sued the Dawson County Commissioners over his 2018 budget. And our writer, since he took him on, Bill Johnson's going to be with us at 9. So get the word out that we're going to be talking with this. And I'll tell you another thing, I have to say candidly that upset me, is there was a police standoff in Dawson County, and Jeff Johnson politicized it. I'm very upset. We're going to go over this, that he politicized this standoff. And I guess he just got a case of the sour grapes, and he doesn't want the media to report what happened when he sued the commissioners because the judge ruled against him. Not us, the judge. The commissioners set his budget. He's not happy with his budget. He takes the commissioners to court. The court says, hey, Mr. Sheriff Johnson, we're ruling against you. We write the story. So I think what we're going to do this morning is ask you to consider the source, the accuracy of the source. But you're going to hear from Bill Johnson at 9 o'clock, and we're going to talk about the source. Let me tell you a little bit of what I did this weekend, besides watch basketball. So I get up to Saturday morning, and things are getting heated up around the politics. So I get up Saturday morning, I drive up to Union County, get a cup of coffee up there, and the next thing I know, a Republican Party meeting broke out. So I go up to the Union County Republican Party meeting. Good people, I like them up there. And Mr. Allison, Dale. And we go up there, a room packed full of rooms. State Senator Steve Gooch is there, and he gives an update. But the 8th District, the House of Representatives 8th District, okay, Representative Matthew Gutler, Matt Gutler, you have a picture of Matt? He's up there Saturday morning. We'll talk this later in the show. He's up there Saturday morning, and he's giving an update on the report. But, okay, I'm standing in the back of the room. Now, you got to always understand, I don't ask any of these politicians a question up front. I follow up what they say. So he's making the reference. He said that there needs to be a change in leadership. And he said it a couple times that there needed to be a change in leadership in the Georgia House of Representatives, right? Then he mentioned a couple bills he was working on, which one I actually liked that he was trying to do. We'll talk about that later in the show. So he mentioned a couple bills he was working on. And then he said, punish. The House leadership needs to change, and a couple of the bills that he was working on, and basically, you know, if you push too hard this way or that way. He voted against the state budget, which is okay. He voted against the state budget, and he said something, not quote, you get punished, okay? You have a picture of Matt, or did I not send one? I thought I sent a picture of Matt. You get punished, okay? There's Matt. He's up there at the Republican Party. Representative Gutler. Hate to say that. I mean, he's a very nice young man. He talks to me. He says, call me Matt. So Representative Gutler, respecting the office, said punish. So at the end, he's taking questions. So I raised my hand. You know me, right? So I raised my hand, a room full of people in the 8th District up here, okay? All right? 8th District. I raised my hand, and I said, you mentioned a couple times change in leadership and being punished. I mean, just say it. Just say it. Do you want a change in leadership? Because the leadership I'm thinking is House Speaker David Ralston. And he admitted that, yeah, you know, Ralston was the leadership, and he did say change in leadership. Now, he has an opponent. We're going to talk about his opponent. One more thing I'm going to talk about today before I go to break, and I'm running along here, is Board of Education. All right? I think, here's what I'm looking at. I'm going to a lot of counties, and I'm talking to local folks. I was up in Towns County last week. The chairwoman of the Board of Education of Union County addressed the Republican Party Saturday morning. And I'm thinking to myself, sadly enough, there has not been enough candidates qualify to run for Board of Education. So many Board of Education members are unopposed. Now, this does not lead you to believe, or I'm not implying that if you see a board member unopposed, I dislike that board member. But I got to thinking over the weekend after I listened to the chair of the Union County Board of Education, after I've looked at some of the things going on in schools, After I looked at the walkout last Wednesday and actually how it was handled in several high schools in North Georgia, I thought, you know what? The Board of Education may be one of the most important elections right now that is lower level. Anyhow, hey, Clay Tippins, candidate for Georgia governor, will be on the show Wednesday morning. I'm your host, BKP. I'm running long. When we come back, now don't forget, tell your friends, top of the hour, 9 o'clock. Bill Johnson, our reporter over in Dawson, is going to be with us. He's the source. We're going to consider it. There you go. Sheriff, maybe you should watch. I'm your host, BKP. Take us to break.
I've had the time of my life. I never felt like this before. I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you. I'll tell you something. This could be love because I've had the time of my life. I've never felt like this before, 'cause I've had the time of my life.
The Tupelo Tea Mission is to provide over 80 premium tea blends for tea lovers who are looking for ways to explore new flavors and blends. Come visit Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Be sure to sample our various varieties of honey and tea. Visit us on the web at tupelotea.com or call us at 706-946-TEAS. That's TEAS. Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ella next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ella next to Walmart.
It's just this simple. Nobody beats Days on price. If it's a Chevy, you'll pay less at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Now save $4,000 off a new 2018 Chevy Malibu, or save up to $10,000 off a new 2018 Silverado Crew Cab. It doesn't matter which Chevy you choose. Nobody beats Days on price. $10,000 off Silverados and $4,000 off Malibus at Days Chevy in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Hey folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Let me share something with you so you will know. The Bill Johnson is our reporter in Dawson County, and Sheriff Jeff Johnson does not seem to be very happy with the reporting of Fetcher News. There's two articles. Sheriff had nearly $400,000 left in his 2017 budget when he sued the Board of Commissioners. Okay? Nearly $400,000 when he sued them. You understand, Sheriff Johnson over in Dawson County chose to consider the source. He is the sheriff, newly elected. He chose to sue the Board of Commissioners over his 2018 budget. So Johnson says, hey, you had $400,000 left in your 2017 when you sued the Board of Commissioners. So we're going to have Bill explain that. And then also this lawsuit, this lawsuit that we're talking about, the judge ruled against the sheriff, okay? And he ruled against the sheriff, and that is Judge Bishop rejects sheriff's claim that Dawson County commissioners abused their discretion, okay? So he lost in court. Now, one thing that I'm going to be asking Bill at 9 o'clock is, okay, what did this lawsuit cost the citizens of Dawson County? And then Johnson used the sheriff used a very dangerous standoff this weekend to politicize it. I tell you what, I mean, I'm okay with, you don't have to follow lockstep with everybody's lead, but it sounds like this sheriff and the commissioners and a couple of the people there in Dawson, he has a conflict with. I sure hope my taillight's not out as I go through Dawson County. Anyhow, did I say that out loud? That being said, Bill's going to be with us at 9, so tune in at 9. Now, President Donald Trump, he gets to sitting there and he thinks to himself, hey, you know what? I got nothing else to do. We fired McCabe, and let's just tweet. Let's send out 20 tweets this weekend and see if I can control all of the Sunday morning shows. Let's see how bad it drives them crazy on a Monday morning. Let's see what happens. So let's go to the Trump tweet deck. Let me pull them up here. Let's pull up. Heck, I don't care how you open them. This is the first time I ever had my computer ask me how I want to open my pictures. This computer's getting a little old. Let's go to Trump tweet 1. Trump tweet 1. Andrew McCabe fired. A great day for hardworking men and women of the FBI. Okay? Now, they will continue to tell you the president keeps pushing down the men and women of the FBI. Not true. A great day for the men and women of the FBI. A great day for democracy. Sanctimonious. Now, come on, don't you love it? Sanctimonious James Comey was his boss and made McCabe look like a choir boy. I'm sorry, I always have to take a break about this time and say, I have waited my entire life for a president called one of these bureaucrats, one of these lifers, somebody in the deep state, sanctimonious. I waited my whole life. And then a choir boy Loved everything about it. McCabe looked like a choir boy. He knew all about the lies and corruption going on at the highest level of the FBI. There is no, tone down the rhetoric. Let's soften the words. Corruption going on at the highest level. Now, before we go any further, you do, and I know you understand this, okay? Every single thing. Now, I understand they are trying to bring the President of the United States down now, okay? They've gone to the next level. But every single thing that they have done, Brennan, Clapper, Obama, Susan Rice, Uma Abedin, the Wiener, okay, Andrew McCabe, Comey, Peter Strzok, Bruce Orr, his wife, Lisa Page, FBI, every single one, okay? Glenn Simpson, Fusion GPS, Steele with the dossier, Fusion GPS, every single thing, no matter what it is, was to make sure that Hillary Clinton did not get indicted. At no time. Did not, would not, and could not be indicted. Okay, let's go to Trump tweet number 2. As the House Intelligence Committee has concluded, there was no collusion between Russia and the Trump campaign. Now, we have to make sure it's understood, and we tell the American people, we don't have time to break down every single thing, that was past tense, because he's left the ground, Mueller's directive. Was there any tampering, any collusion with the Trump campaign in Russia? Did Russia, what interference, what role did they play in the 2016 election? As many are now finding out, however, there was tremendous leaking, lying, and corruption at the highest levels of the FBI. Justice and state. Drain the swamp. I beg you every day to get on board with your President of the United States. You loved yelling, drain the swamp during the election. He has to have your help. This man is taking on the total deep state. He needs your help. If your ears are within my voice this morning, this man needs your help. Forget Republican, forget Democrat, forget Libertarian, Independent, whatever you are this morning. He needs your help. You have the most corrupt, highest levels. You have the FBI. Highest levels, not all agents. The Justice Department, Eric Holder. Why do you think Brennan? Why do you think Holder? Why do you think these people are going crazy? Why do you think McCabe's going crazy? Comey's going. Why do you think they're exploding? Now they have the nerve, okay? They have the nerve. Now Trey Gowdy, which I like Trey. Trey has the nerve to go on TV and tell Donald Trump's lawyer, hey, start acting like your client is innocent. All right? But nobody ever says that Comey's outburst, okay, Brennan's outburst, at their outburst, they maybe should act like they're innocent. All right, the campaign, FBI, Justice, and the State Department. Hillary Clinton, Uma Abedin, the State Department, Department of Justice, Loretta Lynch, Eric Holder, FBI, Comey, McCabe, Brennan, Clapper, Susan Rice. It is dirty, and he called it out. Let's go to Trump tweet number 3. The fake news, this is President Donald Trump, the fake news is beside themselves that McCabe was caught. Caught! Don't you find it interesting that an FBI agent gets caught when it's actually his job to catch the bad guy or girl or old lady that falls down the step has broken wrist? Whichever it may be. It's their job to catch, not get caught in their own web of lies. The fake news is beside themselves that McCabe was caught, called out, and fired. How many hundreds of thousands of dollars was given to the wife campaigning by crooked H-friend Hillary Clinton, Terry McAuliffe, who was also under investigation? How many lies, how many leaks? Comey knew it all and much more. Bottom line, I mean, they keep saying it's not true. They say the president is laying the groundwork for when Mueller talks to him, so he could say, he could lay the groundwork trying to taint the investigation. Terry McAuliffe, I know you're tired of it on this show. Former governor, worked for Bill Clinton, worked for Hillary Clinton, okay? Co-signed. Now listen to this, Amanda. If somebody co-signs for your home loan, that's big. I mean, that's the kind of thing that you cringe and quiver to go to your mom or dad for your first loan and say, could you co-sign? Or could you do this? Or could you help? Terry McAuliffe loved the Clintons, so intertwined with the corruption, he co-signed for their home. Oh, by the way, Terry, also, could you do me a favor? Can you let's set up the fundraiser. I'll come down. Let's get about $600,000 to $700,000 in campaign cash in Virginia. Put up McCabe and Jill for a minute and then go back to this. Let's get up about $600,000, $700,000. A Senate seat, folks. A state Senate seat. Okay? That is Jill McCabe, the wife of a deputy director of the FBI, Andrew McCabe, who ran for Virginia State Senate. Okay? So let's see if we can get about $600,000 to $700,000, push into Jill's campaign, which, you know, Andy's got to love us. I mean, how can you indict me or not manipulate things with Strzok? And, you know, really? Come on, folks. I tell you what, you find me somebody that doesn't send somebody $700,000 and think that somebody doesn't owe somebody something. Boy, I wish I wrote that down. That was pretty good. Anyhow, let's go back to the Trump number 3. How many leaks? Comey knew it all and much more. He called it out, Terry McAuliffe. He's calling out crooked Hillary's friend, McCabe's campaign. This guy's not stupid. Let's go to Trump number 4. What's behind window number 4? The Mueller probe. Mueller? I did that for you, Rick, okay. Is that number 4 on the screen? Is it? All right, I can't see across the room, and I never know with you. You could be putting up a daggone tweet from Rosie O'Donnell for all I know. The Mueller probe should never have been started in that there was no collusion and there was no crime. It should never happen. It was never happened. They kept yelling and yelling, oh, we got to Adam Schiff. And all of these people kept coming out, we must have to save the democracy. The world is ending. We will no longer know our country as we once did. What? Swampy? A little on the swampy side? All right. But you remember, don't give the Republicans a pass. Because the Mueller probe should have never been started. But guess what? Sessions recused himself. Okay, so all right. Then Rod Rosenstein had to do it. Stein or Steen, what the hell's it matter when you're ordering soup at the deli? I don't want to hear it. So Rod had to put the special counsel. When did it come? Who called for it? Why, Lord, as soon as Trump fired Comey, which we all know today, okay, he legally had the right. Everybody knows he legally had the right. They are so deep, the FBI, State Department, Department of Justice are so deep into this, okay? When he fired Comey, now it's obstruction. Did he obstruct? But we know that. So when Comey was fired, oh my God, all of the cameras, I wish you could go to the Capitol one day and all around, I guess it's called the rotunda or whatever, the balcony, there's cameras all over. And they're set up outside of these committee doorways. And these Adam Schiff and these people run out. Steny Hoyer, Schumer, Pelosi. These people run out and say, it's like flagging a damn cab. Hey, can you come talk to us? Sure. Hey, we're next. We're next. And they just, Lindsey Graham and all of them just bump from camera to damn camera. And he fired Comey. And NBC, CNN, ABC, Chuck Todd, that sleepy ass, whatever his name was, Trump called. Yeah, Chuck, all of them. Oh, we have to have special counsel now. Why? Sure, we must. There must be. It came from the Republicans. Yes, we feel a special counsel will probably get to the bottom of this, okay? It was based on fraudulent, activities and fake dossier paid by crooked Hillary and the DNC. Damn it, it's just the truth. Why do they keep getting mad at this man and calling it a tweet storm and all of this? And it's the truth. What they don't like is Trump talks, and I've used it all too many times. He talks to John and Betty and Jill and Larry out in Kansas and Indiana, and he doesn't care in Northern Virginia. Northern Virginia, where all the CIA, go to those subdivisions. The lowest price house is $385,000 outside of D.C. Go out there in Virginia. Go out there about 60 miles and go in one of them subdivisions. And this one works for the CIA. This one works for the State Department. This one works for veterans. This one works for the Department of Education. Go out to them damn subdivisions. I've been out there. Go out there and see. Fake dossier paid by crooked Hillary and the DNC. It's the truth. And improperly used in FISA court for surveillance of my campaign. It's a witch hunt. It's a witch hunt. Which we now are going to trade. When you instead of say a witch hunt, we're going to say, we go out there. Amanda, I'm going to coin this. I'm probably behind, but, I'm just going to start saying it's a Trump hunt. That's the new witch hunt. I'm sorry, no funny. What the hell's wrong with you today? What the hell's wrong with you? Okay, let's go to tweet number 5 of Trump's weekend Twitter account. Donald J. Trump tweeted out, "Wow, watch Comey lie under oath to Senator Grassley when asked, 'Have you ever been an anonymous source?'" I mean, Trump took the weekend and said, hey, what the hell? I'm going to tell the truth. Consider the source. It's called the truth. Anonymous source or known someone else to be an anonymous source. So now McCabe and Comey, there's perjury. What is the penalty to lying before Congress, lying under oath, lying, period, with these two? Use my nice words, BKP. Use your nice words. He said strongly, never, no. No, I never. No, that's not happened. Never. No. He lied as shown clearly on Fox and Friends because Fox and Friends ran the video of Grassley asking, no, never, knowing the whole time he's lying. Let's go to tweet number 5. 6, right? Yes, 6. All right. Spent very little time with Andrew McCabe, but he never took notes when he was with me. What's with these FBI agents? I don't want to call them agents. That was wrong. My sincere apology to all FBI field agents out there today, okay? I already got the Dawson County Sheriff upset with me. I don't need FBI field agents. So what's up with the top echelon? What's up with the top big guys? What's up with them rushing out to the dashboard and getting their little, notepad out and scratching down these extra notes? What's up with that? And are they going to be part of why McCabe's turned over his notes to Mueller? This could be evidence. Evidence of what? Evidence of what? I mean, who was there? The Big Ben clock? Remember Comey's notes? I was with the president, and I kept looking over at the big clock thinking. I mean, is the big clock? Who is these notes? Spent a little time with Andrew McCabe, but never took notes when he was with me. I don't believe he made memos except to help his own agenda, probably at a later date. Same with lying James Comey. Can we call them fake memos? I don't understand. It is your tax money. This is your information. Folks, why you're not... I know what you're doing. Oh, did you see that video of Brennan? Did you see that video of Rand Paul ripping this person apart? Did you see this article? Did you see that article? Folks, let's keep it simple. Okay? Let's keep it simple. The documents, while you are an agent of any level, belong to you, the American people. And why are these people? Remember, Comey went and gave his notes to the New York Times, right? And had sources out there that he put stuff out to and leaked. And now, did Mueller subpoena, I don't know if he has to, or write McCabe a letter? Like, it's interesting that McCabe gets fired on Friday night, and he's already turned the memos over to Mueller. Really? Probably at the later date, same as lying James Comey, can we call those fake memos? And let's go to tweet number 7. The man was busy this weekend. Why does the Mueller team have 13 hardened Democrats, some big crooked Hillary supporters, and 0 Republicans? Another Dem recently added. Does anyone think this is fair, and yet there is no collusion? Folks, Mueller, if you look at me, I'm so tired, as much as I like Trey Gowdy, as much as I like some of these people, but when Marco Rubio, the senator of Florida, goes on TV and when they all would have handled it differently. The reason that is clear, when Trey Gowdy, and I like Trey, but when Trey Gowdy, when Lindsey Graham, when Marco Rubio, when you start running a whole list of these bureaucrats, these lifelong politicians, it is their political career. You have to understand, an FBI career, fine. I can see somebody going to the FBI and stay until they retire and making a career out of it. But see, these politicians, they all think they're civil servants. Okay? And that civil servants have rights that are unknown to you and I. That they can be reassigned, readjusted, and redeployed. They can have these civil servant assets moved around. But fired? Oh, hell no. You don't fire them. Well, that's their pension. Really? First of all, we know McCabe is really not losing a lot here. And we know he's already got all the book deals. And he's probably going to be on the View this afternoon. He's probably signed up to be on the View this afternoon. Him and Jill both. It's a family affair. Okay? When Marco Rubio says, and this is what clears up, because we're going to go to break and we're going to come back. We're not done with this, okay? But when Marco Rubio, Senator Marco Rubio, and a long list says, this should have been handled differently. See, they are establishment thinking. They are not truth, determined to find the truth for you and I, or do what needs to be done when the truth is exposed or the lies are exposed. They're not prepared to do that, okay? Brennan, put up Brennan's picture real quick before we go to break. Former CIA director, Brennan. Nothing but a liar. A no-good liar, deep state, all right? Complicit in every way whatsoever in covering up anything they can to try to take down Donald Trump and his role in making sure Hillary was not indicted. Peter Strzok and Page. Put up Strzok and Page. Okay? Peter Strzok, a high-level FBI agent, very high-level FBI agent, actually was in the room in the Hillary Clinton interview, the Michael Flynn interview. This guy is as corrupt as they come. These two, Lisa Page, an FBI attorney, sitting in the desk, probably with their feet up, sitting in the office, probably with their feet up on the coffee table, talking to Andy McCabe, saying, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? As deep in this corruption as they can. But yet you have politicians today that said, I would have handled this differently. I understand the president's upset. I understand, but it was just hours. McCabe would have been gone. It's just your tax money. I understand. And what they don't understand is they're career politicians. And the ones, let me just say this, because, I'd like to say one thing controversial a day. Just one. Any politician that comes to the podium that says, I understand the president wanted McCabe gone, I understand McCabe's wrong, and all of these understanding that they have, but I would have handled it differently, they need to go. They need to be voted out of office. Speaking of that, President Trump will, my prediction, have primary challengers, plural. And that's kindly unusual for a party unless a party's in disarray. And that's the Republican Party. Jeff Flake gets standing ovation up there in New Hampshire as he goes to say hello. And then the president's going up there to talk about the opioid crisis. Do you believe that some of these drug dealers and these people should get the death penalty? I don't know. President thinks so. As soon as we return, we're going to have Bill Johnson because we're going to consider the source. Jeff Johnson, the sheriff of Dawson County, put his picture up, has attacked our organization. And he's very upset. Jeff Johnson, sheriff of Dawson County, is very upset with FetcherNews.com and our reporting. And said, consider the source. So we're going to go to the source, Bill Johnson, and you listen for yourself and read the articles. Maybe the sheriff's just got sour grapes. We'll be back after these messages. Take us to break.
Hello. My name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas, just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas, just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the Hut.
One.
Folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. I don't want to spend too much time on something, but I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. I'm going to give you the summary of this before we go. Now, just an explanation, not to bore you, a constitutional officer in a county can say to the commission or commissioner, if it's a sole commissioner, they could say, I don't feel my budget is adequate enough, what you're offering me, to comply, and handle the office that the people of the county elected me to do. They could say that. So, for example, I'll just make it real simple. If your constitutional officer wants $1 million to operate their office, and the commissioners or commission decides it's $900,000, they can figure out how to work within the $900,000, or they can go to court and say, hey, I don't feel I have the adequate funds to run the office as the constitutional officer that I'm mandated by the citizens of my county, the voters. That also being said, okay, once the commissioners pass the budget, they cannot walk into a constitutional officer's office and say, hey, you need to spend more on these books or less on these books. You need to spend more here and less here. The only thing the constitutional officer cannot do without their knowledge is bound them to any debt. So that being said, the sheriff, Jeff Johnson, which you have here, he's Dawson County, first term, decided that he was not satisfied with what the commissioners, I'm summarizing, decided that he should have Johnson there as a budget for 2018. All right? And that's Bill Johnson. Let's see, Jeff Johnson, the sheriff. Let's just put him up by himself right now till I go to Bill, because I want to make sure people identify the Johnsons, okay? That's Jeff, the sheriff. So he takes the commissioners to court. All right. Now, he loses. There's 2 stories, and we're going to let this individual tell you. He loses in court. Now, one, this past weekend, and this is on the Dawson County Sheriff's Office page. And to me personally, I'm going to let you know, even if you're listening, Sheriff, I'm disappointed in politicizing something very dangerous. Now, he's coming fresh off a loss in court. He's very upset with the commissioners. There's not a working relationship. So he posts, this is on the Facebook page, earlier this morning, officers responded to a reported child abuse case. He uses a child abuse case. The scene turned into barricaded subjects with a reported gun and involved a juvenile female inside the home. Additional information received concerned that the subjects had arrest warrants out of Washington State. Out of our available deputies, 5 deputies, 4 were tied up on the scene securing the perimeter, leaving only 1 deputy available to respond to other emergency situations within the county. The Georgia State Patrol responded with 2 of their troopers to help secure the scene. However, from my conversation with them on the scene, no others were immediately available to respond to assist with other calls. Now he's setting you up that he has 5 available deputies for the county, 4 is at this scene, finally 2 Georgia State Patrol. They have no other help to give him. He's setting this up. I dislike this. Sheriff, if you're listening, I'm sorry. You can get upset with me if you want. No others were immediately available to respond to assist with other calls. Night shift deputies were summoned to report for duty early to begin answering calls. Well, that's what you do. You could have 12 hours where very little activities taking place, and then you can have a 6-hour standoff. Sheriff, I have been to 48-hour manhunt. I mean, I have watched a manhunt that we've only done once in 3 years in another county that it was all hands on deck. So he's making a little more out of this than I think he should be. So night shift deputies were summoned to report for duty early to begin answering calls. Okay? After failed attempts to establish contact and dialogue with the offenders, the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office Special Weapons and Tactical Teams arrived with their specially trained personnel and equipment. So what he's trying to tell you here, he had to go outside the county and get specially trained weapons tactic teams to special weapons and tactic teams to come in. Not every county has these teams completely trained, ready to go. But all counties have what's called a working relationship. You build, if your county does not have a tactical team trained for a certain area, or a river team, rescue team, or a boat rescue team, and something was to happen, you have communication and you have agreements with surrounding counties. Just put it like that. I mean, he's pulling out all the stops here. I think this is pretty, I don't like this, Sheriff. Did I tell you that already? A short time later, the incident was resolved without injury or incident to any party. They resolved it. The juvenile was found okay and without injury. Well, that's great. Let's use a juvenile. Let's use all the things you don't have. Let's use all the things you could have had. Let's tell the citizens how unsecure they may have been during this crisis moment in other areas of the county. I greatly appreciate all the professionals who responded to bring this potential violent incident to a peaceful end. Thank you for who you are and what you represent. Now, here's where he set all this up, okay? Dawson County, you, the citizens, Dawson County, our community continues to change. We must be prepared, and we need your help. Let the commissioners know that public safety is a priority for you and your family. Honored to serve as your sheriff, Jeff Johnson. Let the commissioners know. Because they're so bad, these commissioners. They don't want you to be safe. These commissioners dislike you so bad. My words, this is over. They don't want you to be safe. Why, they would not put enough money into a budget in no way whatsoever for public safety. So please let your commissioners know what the possibilities of what could have happened this other night. Now, I'm going to get into exactly what we're talking about, and I'm going to let Bill explain this because it is on the page. But we have we're going to bring in Bill Johnson, the reporter that has written these articles. And the Dawson County Sheriff, sorry, Sheriff, I mean, it sounds like sour grapes to me, but I want to thank you personally for asking people to consider the source, because we think the source is very good here. Consider the source. Growing up, my dad always taught me to consider the source. As much as I normally ignore misinformation, okay, well, we're going to have the person on that he is claiming misinformation, especially that being spewed on social media. Is that what I'm doing right now, Amanda? Spewing on social media. However, I do find it necessary to address this misinformation twice, right out of the box, from time to time. In regards to the recent ruling, where I was disappointed, in simple terms, the court ruled that the Board of Commissioners did not abuse their discretion by denying our request to release previously frozen positions. These positions were frozen years ago and have not been reinstated, even though our county continues to grow and crime continues to rise. I just want to get down here because we're going to move this right along. The online Fetch Your News published an article implying that the additional funds could have been used to fund the CAD system. This is very misleading to our community. A project of this nature would take months. So, to quote an excerpt from the publication, that's Fetch Your News, the source, which you need to consider, and we thank you again for that. Gaines said he doesn't know if Johnson was aware he had close to $400,000 left in the budget, but he questioned why the sheriff needed more money when he didn't spend what he had. Now, I'm happy to bring in Bill Johnson. Yes, your sheriff. Bill Johnson is the reporter, and I'm going to give you the name of two articles, Bill, that I want you to comment on. First of all, Judge Bishop rejects sheriff's claim that Dawson County commissioners abused their discretion. Tell us a little bit. Welcome, Bill. Tell us a little bit before we get into the sheriff's Facebook post after the fact about this trial. You went to, welcome, Bill, you went to all of the hearings here on this trial?
Thank you, Brian. Yes, I did. I went to both days. And what was interesting about the start of that meeting is Judge Bishop made it very clear that, as a matter of fact, he asked both attorneys, what is it you want me to do? Because even if I find in the sheriff's favor, I don't have any authority to demand the county commissioners pay any certain amount. I can find in your favor, and then you can go back and negotiate, but I can't tell the county commissioners how much they have to give you in their budget. But that's true. The judge did find that the county did not abuse its discretion in the amount. In fact, he went into detail. I don't have the point by point in front of me right now, but he went into detail and refuted some of the things that the sheriff said. For example, one of the things that the sheriff said was that, our sheriff's attorney said, was that, you know, the county refused to meet with him. Well, no, that's not true. I was at a couple of those meetings. I've met with him on more than one occasion. Several times I met with him and his attorney, and even gave the attorney time to ask questions, to make comments. I think they've been over backwards to have those meetings. But, you know, Brian, I did see somebody sent me a copy of the Facebook article that the sheriff posted, and just before anything else, I want to make it very clear that Sheriff Johnson is entitled to his own opinion. I respect that, but I stand by every single word that was in that article. And as Fetch Your News always does, if there is a factual error anywhere in that article, we will be more than happy to correct it.
Well, you now going back to the court case, before we move on to this, going back to the court case, you attended, just so our viewers know and the readers, that because he has said consider the source, and he he is upset with us, and he's made it public. I mean, we did not go and say we're upset with him. We just wrote articles, which we do. He stepped it up and wrote what he wrote, considering the source, and actually named us. That being said, you attended all the Board of Commissioner meetings where the budget was going through the process. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
So you were present and heard the sheriff and the commissioners debating back and forth. What was the difference in the amount he was asking for versus what the commissioners were willing to put in his budget?
You know, I was afraid you were going to ask me that, and I don't have the figures in front of me right now, but as I recall, and I could be wrong about this, but as I recall, the difference in what he was asking and what the county commissioners awarded was somewhere around $500,000.
Okay, but they were not cutting his budget from the previous year.
No, absolutely not.
Right, he was trying to increase. He was trying to increase the budget from the previous year. So
he was trying to increase the increase that they gave him, basically. In their proposed budget, I think they had given him what looked like an increase of about I think it was $800,000 or $900,000 over the previous year, and he didn't feel like that was adequate for him to perform his responsibility. So he added more to that, about $500,000 more, I believe.
So just so the citizens know, the former sheriff retired, and this is a first term, Mr. Johnson, Jeff Johnson's first term sheriff of Dawson County, and his first budget they did increase. And we don't want to get this argument. We're not giving factual numbers, meaning to the penny, because we don't have that in front of us. And Bill came on with us at the last minute. But in his first year in office, they did increase his budget somewhere $900,000. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
So they already gave him one increase his first year. Now you was trying to increase that by another $500,000, somewhere in that area?
Yes, sir.
So, and that's what stemmed to the court case. So they go to court, and he loses the case. Is there anything, I know you know I'm going to ask this, and you probably don't have the number because you probably have to do an open records request. Can we get the information as soon as possible of actually what the sheriff taking the commissioners to court cost the citizens of Dawson County? Because it's a superior court. It was I'm going to say a week-long trial, 3 or 4 days. The judge and the commissioners and everybody had to have their attorneys. And actually, the citizens pay for Johnson's attorney. He doesn't go out and get his own. They pay for it. So the total cost of this court case is on the back of the citizens of Dawson County, correct?
That's correct, and I think I have that figure. I asked for it the other day, and the finance department, or finance director, Vicki Nykirk, sent something to me. I think the cost, unfortunately, my computer has crashed, and I can't get to that figure, but I think that the cost to the county was in the vicinity of $20,000.
$20,000 for this court case, just in legal fees. Just in legal fees, about $20,000. About $20,000. Okay. Now, I think he's obviously upset he lost the case, and he said he's disappointed in that. But you wrote an article. Sheriff had nearly $400,000 left in his 2017 budget when he sued the Board of Commissioners. So let's just get something straight. The 2017 budget is the budget they approved that he asked for, that increased by $900,000. Am I right?
That's right.
So the money we're talking about now is in the budget he asked for, correct?
I'm sorry, run that by me again.
All right, the sheriff had nearly $400,000 left in his 2017 budget when he sued the Board of Commissioners. What I'm getting at is the $400,000 that you're stating in your title here that he had left in the 2017 budget. That's $400,000 out of $800,000 or $900,000 that they increased him, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right.
That would be correct.
You see what I'm saying? Okay, so Now, tell me why he's taking you to task, all right? Why he's taking you to task over this particular article.
You know, that's a very good question. I really don't know. I haven't seen anything from the sheriff that points out that there is anything factually incorrect about this. I think it's just, you know, and I can understand him being upset and losing the case that they thought they would be able to win. I understand that he thinks he needs more money, but I think at the heart of this, Brian, is the fact that the dispute between the county and the sheriff, it kind of centers on the fact that the county would like for the sheriff to use the county's finance department and purchasing procedures because they believe it's more efficient and more effective for the taxpayers. They've got an experienced staff that's already on hand for them to do that, and they do recognize that the sheriff has every authority not to do it, but they believe that it would be better for the taxpayers of the county if he would use that. He doesn't want to do that, and I think that's kind of at the heart of this dispute. And I think he must believe that for some reason I'm taking the side of the county commissioners. I'm not doing that at all. I have infinite amount of respect for the sheriff and for the board of commissioners, but as a reporter, you know, you call them as you see them. You just write the facts and let the chips fall where they may.
Well, I guess one more question I have before we go, and I appreciate you coming on this morning. He says the online Fetcher News published an article implying that the additional funds could have been used to fund the CAD system. Now, I want you to see if you can answer that, but the next segment concerns me and is upsetting to the organization. This is very misleading to our community. And I don't like that because I think you know me, and we have a lot of conversations of we are supposed to be a conduit of information to the communities we serve. And you know me well enough that, you know, that turns my ears red if we are misleading or we're telling the citizens something that's just, you know, not true. And very misleading is a nice way to say, hey, we didn't tell you, the citizens, the truth. So the additional funds could have been used to fund the CAD system. Where is he going with that, and what's your comment where that's concerned?
Well, it's funny you said that. I just this morning I got a text message from one of the county commissioners that commented on that very thing and said, as far as the CAD system that you mentioned in your article, you're 100% correct. You know, he had a $200,000 set aside in his 2017 budget. That was earmarked strictly for the CAD system that they wanted to purchase. Because he had another $400,000 left over that he didn't spend, they could have purchased that system right away. And the commissioners would have been more than happy. I think it would have been more than happy to go ahead and approve it, and I think it could have been put in right away. However long it takes to install something like that, I don't know. But they would have approved it right away.
Because it was already set aside in the budget. I've been to so many meetings that when it comes to purchasing and large purchases, you know, they say, well, it's already in the budget. It's like a formality. They really can't say no to it, is my understanding in a lot of ways, you know, right? Because it's set aside.
I think that's right. Absolutely.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, Bill Johnson, I appreciate you very much, and I would like to invite everyone to Fetcher News, Dawson County. Click on news, read these articles Bill has written, and I would like to encourage you to consider the source. At our dedication to you, the citizens of Dawson County, and everywhere we serve at FetcherNews.com, that we are accurate. And as Bill, you and I know this, that, you know, you and I have had many of conversations in the afternoon where, you know, our position is if someone reads anything and feels there's a factual error, we will pick up the phone and listen to them. I have a question to you. Did you receive a call before this very long, 14 hours ago, very long comment was written by Sheriff Jeff Johnson? Did you receive a call saying, Bill, I'd like to discuss some of the points you made in your article?
No, I did not.
That's right, and either did I. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to look right in the county. Sheriff Jeff Johnson, I have sat in his office with Bill Johnson, and I have looked at him and said, Sheriff, this is the way we operate at Fetro News. If at any time you need me, if any time anything is written or any concern you have where your office is concerned, you call me anytime. Because our first and foremost, right now, we support our law enforcement here, absolutely support law enforcement, first responders, but we have to tell the citizens what's happening financially with their tax money. We're always on the side of the taxpayers. And I've told him that, and Bill, you were with me when I told him that.
Yes, sir.
And
I was absolutely in his office with you.
And you did not hear from him, and I did not hear from him, but he decided to go on the Dawson County Sheriff's Facebook page. And I, again, want to say thank you, Sheriff, for asking people to consider the source. Bill, you got anything big going on today, or are you?
Yeah, I've got to go get my computer fixed.
Do you have any meetings? Are there any meetings tonight?
You know, fortunately, I don't have tonight. I've got some that are coming up. There's a big election coming up in Dawsonville tomorrow. The mayor is, the former mayor is running for re-election. That's James Grogan running against Mike Eason. That election is tomorrow, so I've got to get my computer fixed before then so I can get that story in as quick as possible.
All right, well, go get your computer fixed, and we'll be waiting to hear from you on all the results concerning the Dawsonville mayor's race tomorrow.
Mayor's race.
All right.
Right.
Hey, Bill,
Yes,
you have a nice day. I appreciate you coming on. I'm your host, BKP.
Thank you, Brian.
We're going to take a brief break, and as soon as we return, let's see. Amanda, you've been thinking anything? You got anything? I mean, you got something?
I got a little something.
Oh, a little something. Amanda has a little something when we return. I'm your host, BKP. Consider the source. We'll be back after these messages.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, LJ, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the hot.
One.
I know I'm on. I understand that. I mean, I know it. You told me in my ear. We're back, folks. Thank you, Amanda. I'm trying to read text messages. We're trying to read emails. Oh, no. You know, I just walked away from the Twitter deck for not even 20 minutes. And what the hell? President Donald Trump has tweeted out 28 minutes ago, just 28 minutes ago, a total witch hunt. I think you should change it to a Trump hunt, right? A total witch hunt with massive conflicts of interest. Total witch hunt. Massive conflicts of interest. So, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. Having way too much fun. I got a political meeting to go to tonight. Fannin County Republican Party. I'm going to go up there tonight. Went to a Union County Republican Party Saturday morning. And I want you to stay with me because I want to do what I call a, well, it's not what I call it. I want to do a, one of our viewers, a tribute to one of our viewers at the end of the show, okay? And I was trying to figure out which email to read, but I'm going to do a tribute to one of our viewers at the end of the show. It is 9:37. We're running a little late. Amanda, you got a little something? Welcome, Amanda.
Hey, I got a little something.
What you got?
And it's for you, too. It's your favorite person here lately. Can you guess who it is?
No. I mean, I have trouble with favorite person. I mean, I got a lot of, it could be Rick. It could be, well, no, Hope, it's not Rick if we're talking about Hope Hicks. Hell with Rick.
No, it's not Hope Hicks. It's the other one.
Oh, go ahead. I got it. Go ahead. Yes. A little stormy news. A little stormy news.
Yeah, I got some stormy news.
What do you have?
Cohen.
I feel like I'm taking your order at the varsity. What you have,
All right. So Cohen, I don't know if you saw this over the weekend, is seeking $20 million in damages from Stormy Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
And her attorney actually bites back. How can President Trump seek $20 million in damages against my client based on an agreement that he and Mr. Cohen claim Trump never was a party to? But what he fails to mention is, actually, this was actually a deal between Mr. Cohen and Mrs. Daniels. Or actually, her real name is Mrs. Clifford. So.
Mrs. what?
There we go. No, this is an agreement between the attorney.
What's her real name?
Stephanie Clifford.
Nobody show up to see Stephanie Clifford,
Right.
You know.
Yeah, that name.
Dance.
Stephanie Clifford. But, so her name is on the agreement when Mr. Trump is not. So, even if, you know, you still violated the agreement because you signed it.
Well, So, and exactly why did you think we needed Stormy Daniels?
20 million. I think it's hilarious because she only got 130, and now he's biting back with 120 million. I thought that was hilarious. I got a kick out of it, you grouch.
What did you call me? Did you call me a grouch?
Yeah.
Oh.
To say the least.
You see, folks, Supreme Court to weigh free speech. Okay, this is March 19th. Stay with me here, Amanda. Supreme Court to weigh free speech for anti-abortion centers. The Supreme Court on Tuesday will hear whether California is violating, that's tomorrow, free speech rights by forcing anti-abortion pregnancy centers to post information about the availability of state-funded abortions. Okay, the decision is expected by end of June, could trigger legal changes in other states such as similar laws in Hawaii and Illinois. Depending on the outcome, reproductive rights advocates may seek to overturn anti-abortion laws that require doctors to tell women that abortions lead to mental health problems or breast cancer, disclosures that abortion advocates say are false.
I think that we should have access to any information that our taxes contribute to.
Period. Right? Any information our taxes contribute to. Okay. Anything else you got on the horizon there?
That's all I've got.
So
I do have something for tomorrow, though.
So you came on the show. You come on the show on and you on at 9:30 on a Monday morning, and you've got Stormy Daniels news.
Yeah, I went back with a punch with Stormy Daniels.
Yes, there is a lawsuit. Okay, McCabe
Don't
threatens.
be grouchy.
Do you? I'm not grouchy. Let me wrap this show.
I thought you'd like that.
I do like it. It's just, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. It wasn't in the flow. I didn't want to see. I wonder what she has invested in all of her work.
I don't think she has anything invested. She doesn't really seem like a smart person, so.
Well,
I think she's just winging it, you know?
I have noticed how all of the media with the moral ethical compass feels the words from a porn star actress / dancer / dollar bill collector.
Dollar bill collector.
Like, what if you go in there like you got a 10 and you look at it and say, do you make change? Like, she can make it.
No.
Could you get me off this subject? Let's get out of here. McCabe threatens to take people down. Thank you very much, Amanda. Always love to have you on the show.
You're very welcome.
And step in, even if you do call me grouchy. McCabe threatens to take people down with him if fired. He has taken them down. McCabe will take them down. My interesting thing is, when will they start talking? I'm not worried about Papadopoulos. All I hear is about Priebus, Bannon. When do they crack? And I'm going to tell you something, okay? I'm going to tell you something. They did not expect Sessions to fire him. That is the deep state shot heard around. That is the shot heard completely through the deep state. They did not expect that, okay? And Trump is far from finished. He needs your help. So don't forget, they did not expect that. Something very quickly before we go. Let's put up the picture again. Let's go to the 8th Georgia 8th District, House of Representatives. So I go up to Saturday morning, Union County, Republican Party, and representative from the 8th District, Matthew Gutler, is there, and he's running for re-election. It's his first term. So I asked Mr. Gutler, He's talking about these bills, and he's talking about a change in leadership and punishment and so on and so forth, okay? And I asked Mr. Gutler how many bills, okay, he has introduced in his 2-year term, how many bills he introduced, how many have made it to the floor for a vote, and how many has he gotten passed? Well, it's not unusual to be the freshman representative in a district to really not get out of the box and get bills on the floor and get bills passed. Now, I think one of the frustrations that Mr. Gutler has is the leadership, and that's plural, there's several, but the Speaker of the House and the leadership, which is David Ralston. You got a picture of David Ralston, let's put this up. David Ralston, the Speaker of the House, that has his own opponent in the 7th District, makes a decision on what bills make it to the floor, okay? What bills make it to the floor. And Speaker Ralston, decides, hey, in this session, this bill needs to go to the floor, this bill needs to come to the floor. And he continually over and over said, hey, we need a change in leadership, and talked about if you basically buck the leadership, you get punished, which would again be Speaker Ralston. So I asked him, how many have you got to the floor? How many have you gotten a vote? How many have gotten passed? Did I send you Ralston's picture or not? Okay. And he has sponsored, he said he sponsored 8 bills in the last 2 years. Okay. A couple went into committee, I think he said, but never came out, my understanding. And there's Speaker of the House, David Ralston, which Gutler later admits to me that he thinks that this guy should not be Speaker of the House. So go back to Matthew Gutler. And 8 he has put up, okay? And a couple went in committee, I understand, never came out. He's never had a bill on the floor to be voted on, never had a bill to be voted on, and has not had one passed in 2 years. He's not the first representative that's happened to, all right? And he did vote against this year's budget. Now, he has an interesting proposal of not having omnibus budgets, which I can't say I think is the worst proposal, not having omnibus type budgets where we have a $26 million budget and you vote yes or no, but having each department present their budget and voting by department and creating the state budget that way. All right, that's not the worst way to do that. Texas does that, folks, but they do it every 2 years. And we get further into that, but that's something that Texas does. So it's not that bad, and they do it every 2 years. So there's a focus on the department. They do a 2-year budget instead of 1. So he called for a change in leadership and talked about being punished. Now, he has an opponent, Dr. Mickey Cummings, okay? And did I send Dr. Mickey Cummings' picture over? This is the only one I have right now of him hiking. He's the former extension agent, UGA extension agent in the area, Union County, Dr. Mickey Cummings. He is the opponent. He was at the Republican Party meeting, very crowded room, did not take up a lot of time. Now, Gutler took 15, 20 minutes because he's the representative, so he was given a report. When it came time for candidates, they let him have about 2 minutes. He basically got up, introduced himself, said he was a candidate for the House of Representatives, Georgia House of Representatives, District 8. His name is Dr. Mickey Cummings, and he made reference to the Union County Farmers Market and how a lot of people would go to him and say what he did to make the Union County Farmers Market happen and develop it and what you see today. And he said, no. He said, when people tell me that, I say it was a team effort. Team effort, totally. He used team effort. And he said, I'm a team player, and if elected, I'll be a team player because it takes a team effort, is basically the quote. So that's his opponent there, Dr. Mickey Cummings. I don't have anything else right off. We're about 10 days from session being over. All right. We have a governor. Hold on just a minute. I was looking at an article that just came up. We have a governor that has a governor candidate, Democrat Stacey Abrams, that seems to have a lot of financial questions out there. We have there's going to be. I want to look at. We have Clay Tippin's going to be on the show Friday, right? Tonight is Fannin County Republican Party. Put up my Board of Education. And let me tell you why. Because I just got to thinking over the weekend, and I'm going to say in a way disappointed, okay? And this is pretty much my little personal opinion. I'm going through all the counties, okay? And Board of Education is considered not a big deal, okay? People go to run for Board of Education, and they have all this passion, and they're going to change the world on the Board of Education. They're going to bring back local control, just all the lists that they have so much enthusiasm, energy when they go in. But then bureaucracy in Atlanta or whatever state you're in works immediately to break them. Immediately. If you go into the Board of Education and you're a new member and you have ambition of going in there and for the last several years stopping Common Core and being upset with the testing, all of this testing and so on and so forth. And when you get there, they send you to training and they immediately beat this ambition, these goals out of you and try to, don't take that wrong, any Board of Education members, but they do everything they can to beat that free spirit and being beholden to the people that elected you out of you as soon as possible. That's my opinion. To the effect, they want you to have workshops, which is good, to discuss anything that would be an issue that maybe you don't agree on as a board. And they go as far to suggest that if it's a subject that you just can't agree on, table it, okay? Because you have 5-member Board of Education. The membership is 5, which means 2 can talk at any time and not have the Sunshine Law broken. So board member 1 can call board member 3, board member 3 can call board member 5, board member 5 can call board member 2. And by the time they get done calling everybody's got it worked out and they call back and forth, and that's not breaking the Sunshine Law. And by the time they get there, they're encouraged to have a unified vote. They're encouraged, not told they have to, but they're encouraged that when they bring items to the floor for a vote, that they have a unified vote and it's all in favor, aye, boom, move along. Do not vote no. That shows, that there's a disconnect in the community. And you don't want that. You want unity in the community. All of that being said, we have the shooting at Parkland High School. And we have these kids coming out and being that so many of these kids do not even know what the 3 branches of government are. Some of these kids know nothing about the process. You have seen all of the breakdown from the FBI to the school. Now we find out at Parkland, the school, I think the school psychologist and the sheriff's office, even the cowardly SRO officer, they wanted this mental evaluation that would actually put this kid away, my understanding is coming out, So we look at every single failure, but we've got MoveOn.org, we got George Soros, we got Planned Parenthood, the list goes on, that rushed in to pay for these kids to come out and say it was the NRA and an AR-15 with the help of CNN. And we have walkouts, and don't take this wrong, listen to me, don't screw my words up, the only way I can put it. But we had these kids walk out in North Georgia, and we have these principals that are just gushing over how it wasn't politicized, and they went out and showed 17 minutes of solidarity with fallen students to just show and bring awareness to the problem. And then we have principals that wrote statements that we want our children to express themselves, and they are the future leaders, and we're treating these 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds, 20, whatever, like they're so brilliant. They're absolutely just, they got it. And they figured it out. And if we, you and I, the old people with gray hair, would just listen, that's how we treated it. And it's being treated through the media. Oh, we're just gushing. And then I go through the counties to look at who is qualified to run for offices. And I see so many Board of Education members, not that you're bad people, okay, that are running unopposed. Unopposed. The solution is in your community. The solution is the adults. The solution is you. If not you, who? These kids. Instead of you and I working for the administration, and I love a lot of principals, I love superintendents of schools, there's several that are my friends, but instead of you and I working for them, and you and I gushing over these great things these children are doing, there should be, like right now of all times, every school board election should have 4 or 5 opponents. No, it's not. It's not a coveted office anymore. It's not. You used to could not get another person in the PTA meeting. And the reason I say that is school safety. School safety. Guns, teachers, school, marshals. The state of Georgia allows, and here's the reason I'm going to wrap this up. The state of Georgia allows for the local Board of Education to create their safety program for your schools. And I don't like to put them on the spot, but I will tell you this. If you feel there should be a school marshal program in your schools to where there are some weapons, people that are trained properly with weapons if needed, that's your school board's decision. And the state of Georgia says you can do that. Soft targets, no more. Gun-free zones, no more. Our kids' safety, priority 1. School board elections. Think this one out before you make this decision. You have governor, you have everything, but think this one out. I've got to go, but before I do, go ahead and take that down. I want to make I want to make a comment here concerning our show, you the viewers, and how I really feel. It's kind of will let you, I don't know, bring you in a little closer to, why I do the show, who you are, and when I tell you to email me. I save all your emails. I don't put them away. Yes, I'm like Andy McCabe. If I ever need them, I'll have the memo. All jokes aside, when viewers send an email to the show, I can't do that with the text messages, but when viewers send an email to the show, I put it in a folder called Viewer Emails, and I put it in a folder that's maybe your name. You get your own name when you continually send them over and over. And I like to tell this story from time to time because when I started the show 2 years ago and I looked at the camera, there were times when I didn't know if you were out there. I didn't know who's out there. I didn't know if 2 people, 500 people. And then I started getting viewers that communicated with me actively through the show. And that's really when it came to me and it dawned on me and I got the reality that there's some people out there. They're watching. And I beg you, send me an email. Tell me what you think. I call you our research staff. Send me emails. Send me your opinion. Tell me what you think of what I say. Tell me, send me articles. And I know I got a minute. Well, since I started the show, pretty much since I started the show, a lady by the name of Judy Oglesby watched the show every day. Never missed the show. And her husband, Frank, which is a good friend of mine, he's the late show guy. He stays up at night reading, so he doesn't get up at the crack of dawn to watch the show. And sometimes he would call me and he'd say, well, I don't know what you were hollering about this morning, but as I came down the hallway, I could hear Judy's computer in there, and you were screaming and yelling about something, and I can hear it all the way down the hall, so I don't know what you were doing this morning. Judy never missed the show. Judy sent messages. She sent messages when she didn't like a joke. We had one of our people on the show tell a joke and she found it inappropriate. It upset her, made her angry. She sent me a message. She'd send a message when the live feed was down to help us out. You are our technical staff. She'd send a message, okay? She'd send a message when we spelled something wrong. Not that we would ever do that, but if one of the show cards had something spelled wrong, Judy'd let us know. Judy would answer Bruce's question. I have an email here, and the topic is, she always sent a subject. And she said, answering Bruce's question. Well, she watched the All-Star Panel every Friday, Judy did. And Bruce asked a question or brought up a question, and Judy answered it, sent me an email, okay? Judy would send me an email, said, after the kind of show you did today, you may need this after the show. I sent you something a little funny. Judy Oglesby died this past Saturday, and I attended her funeral yesterday in Dalton, and my condolences and sincere love and sympathy from all of us at FetchYourNews.com and Lisa and I to Frank and all of your family. And I want to read one thing. I know it's 10:02 in the morning. I hope you're still here. This is on February 10th, 2016. Yes, February 10th, 2016. Judy gave me her impression of the candidates. Remember, there were 17 candidates on the floor on the debate stage. Judy wrote her impression of the candidates. So let me give you this. Trump speaks loudly and carries a big stick. Cruz, mad and not going to take it anymore. Marco Rubio would make a good prom date. Marco Rubio would make a good prom date according to Judy. Bush, Jeb Bush, gone and forgotten. Okay. Chris Christie, somebody's favorite uncle. Judy said. John Kasich, Ohio governor, won't shut up. John Kasich, annoying nerd. John Kasich, she thought was an annoying nerd. Ben Carson, smart but not passionate enough. And Carly Fiorina, I'll call her if my computer breaks. I'll call Carly to fix my computer. That's what Judy told me was her impression of the candidates of February 10th, 2016 at 9:34 a.m. live interaction. Judy, you will be missed. Thank you to Frank Oglesby and the family, and our thoughts and prayers are with you. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Good morning from the office with your host, BKP. You have a nice day.